And then real quick, just the last piece I left off was, since I did start somewhere, I think it was over here yesterday, wherever I started, right? Um, it helps to know these concepts because on Top Step they don't have any of the strat numbers or a lot of the indicators that are available on TradingView. But I like learning this without any indicators because then it trains my eyes to know what I'm looking for, right? So, like, my balance here says 1600, so I pretty much did 1600 like 4 or 5 times, all within the span of yesterday. I started around like 5 p.m. and I went hard. I was literally just watching the charts until like 9 or 10 p.m. until I went to bed. I even like left a few minis overnight because it's futures, so it closes at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time today. And yeah, I was just like, man, this looks like it's heading, since it hadn't hit the daily open yet, but it was like 20 points from it. I was like, I wonder if it'll hit it. So I left like 4 or 5 micro MNQ contracts, puts. Yeah, they were puts. I had 4 puts, and I woke up and I was like negative 500, but since I hadn't closed it out yet, and then an hour later I was up 1,000 or like 1,500. So what I'm trying to say is, like, I had a balance of like 16, 1,500, 1,700 4 or 5 times. Not because like the number matters to me, but I would make it and then I would try to get rid of it, right? Or try to make more. Because the big thing for me is like consistency, right? Like, I want to be able to do this, like, whether it rains, it shines, in my sleep, whether it's hailing or snowing. It's kind of how, when I learned how to drive stick shift, I'm very like obsessive, and I don't like let something go until I master it. So it took me like 4 to 5 years to learn how to drive stick shift. It was very annoying, very like frustrating. And honestly, like, I even went and got my CDL, became a truck driver just to master it. And then finally, like, after having quit my trucking job, I started driving my mom's boyfriend's manual stick shift car to work, my new work. And literally, like, using it every day is what helped me just master it. Because now I can drive with ease, right? I used to get my car choked up all the time. It used to turn off on me at all times. Lots of road hazards, but yeah, anytime something like really bugs me, like, I don't let it go until I master it, until I'm like until there's a point where I can depart as equals from it, you know? So seeing the monthly, the daily, the weekly open has really helped. I'm gonna also, since the market is, the week is starting up, I'm gonna also include like the 4 hour open or the 1 hour open, just so it'll allow me to be more precise on my hypothesis. But yeah, that's my updates. And like, I feel like I've got 2 of them kind of halfway, like 50 to 60% there. 2 of the 3 universal truths, which is like the highs and the lows, which is the broadening formations, and then time frame continuity. So like, my third lever that I'm going to be working on, I have been working on, is to implement it all with actionable signals. Also, I feel like being on the 1 minute, like, you can't really gauge as much because it really could go any way. So now my next question is, like, do higher time frames, like, say The 4 hour, do those signals kind of tell you in advance what's going to be happening based on the 1, the 2, the 3, a shooter, a hammer, a rev strat, a 2-1-2, a 3-1-2? Like, could I just play higher time frames and get the same results and not have to be on the 1 minute? I guess that's my next question, right? But yeah, this is just my updates. I'm trying to make these more boring, more mundane, more consistent, right? Because it's the only way to get true clarity. Repetition. All right, have a great day. Peace.